The music industry is witnessing an incredible shift right before our eyes, and it's coming from a place no one expected. A group from the Philippines with no billion-dollar Korean agency backing them is taking the world by storm. And they're not just playing the game, they're changing the entire rulebook. While K-pop, a multi-billion-dollar empire, has built its dominance on its ironclad system, this group is doing something radically different. This is SB19, a name you won't forget. And what they're doing isn't just breaking the mold, they're completely shattering it. The system can't ignore them anymore, and neither can K-pop. The real question is, can the world keep up with this revolution? For years, K-pop has been the gold standard for global pop music. Its well-established system has churned out one idol after another, each one perfectly sculpted to be the next global sensation. The formula has been clear: strict training programs, a controlled image, and meticulous song and performance planning, all orchestrated by massive entertainment companies. But here comes SB19. They've stepped onto the scene without following that formula. And they're proving that maybe the blueprint isn't the only way to success. They don't bend the rules, they simply ignore them. And that's why they're not just another boy band, they're changing the game. In K-pop, idols are groomed from a young age. They undergo years of rigorous training, perfecting their craft under the strictest supervision. Their image is controlled, their music meticulously planned, and their performances polished to perfection. That's the K-pop system. But SB19 didn't grow up in that system. They weren't waiting for permission to debut. They weren't bound by anyone's rules. Instead of being fully shaped by a company, they took their destiny into their own hands. They write their own lyrics, create their own music, choreograph their own dances, and have a say in every single creative decision. This level of artistic freedom is almost unheard of in the world of idols. And it's exactly what makes SB19 stand out. They're raw, real, and unapologetically themselves. K-pop's global dominance has always been tied to its powerful system. But SB19's rapid rise without the backing of that system is a challenge to everything K-pop stands for. They're proving that success doesn't always require the formula. If they can build an international following without the big agencies, what does that say about the K-pop system? SB19's success raises an uncomfortable question. What if the blueprint isn't the only path to success? What if the system is outdated, and artists no longer need it as much as it needs them? SB19's live performances have set a new bar for what's possible. In an industry where lip-syncing and backing tracks are often used to mask imperfections, SB19 is flipping that script. They perform with live vocals every time, while executing complex choreography. This is no easy feat. In fact, it's incredibly demanding. In a world where perfection is often engineered behind the scenes, SB19 takes the stage with nothing but their talent, their risk, and their raw ability. And that's exactly why it hits so hard. Once SB19 proves that you can deliver both demanding choreography and stable live vocals at the same time, the standards of live performances shift. What was once considered acceptable now feels like a compromise. The traditional route to global success has always been clear. Artists sign with massive agencies that provide the infrastructure, marketing, and global exposure. But SB19 didn't follow that path. Instead of debuting under a system, they created their own. By founding their own company, Odyssey Entertainment, SB19 positioned themselves as not just performers, but decision makers. They don't wait for a company to give them a hit song. They create their own. They don't follow trends, they set them. And that kind of independence is revolutionary in an industry where artists have often been at the mercy of their agencies. SB19 is showing the world that autonomy is a powerful tool, and they're proving that artists can control their own destiny. In the global music industry, artists often have to adapt their identity to fit the international market. They're told to soften their cultural background, dilute their native language, and conform to a more universal sound. But SB19 is different. They don't hide their identity to fit the global mold. Instead, they embrace it. With songs like Mapa, which is about family, a deeply Filipino value, and Visa, which addresses the struggles of overseas Filipino workers, SB19 is showcasing Filipino culture on the world stage. And they're doing it unapologetically. They're not changing who they are to fit in. They're bringing their culture to the world in its purest form. And surprisingly, it's working. SB19 is proving that authenticity can travel just as far, if not further, than the sanitized universal sound many other global pop artists aim for. The global pop scene has long been dominated by massive companies with the power to control every aspect of an artist's career. But SB19 is challenging that power structure. They're showing the world that you don't need a giant corporation to succeed on the global stage. You don't need billions of dollars, international distribution channels, or a massive marketing machine. What you need is talent, connection, and authenticity. And SB19 has proven that these qualities can compete with even the most powerful entertainment companies in the world. They're showing us that success doesn't have to be engineered or bought. It can be earned through real, unfiltered connection with an audience. In the world of K-pop, fandoms are everything. They drive sales, chart placements, and influence the entire global music industry. SB19's fan base, A10, is no different, but there's something uniquely powerful about them. Unlike most K-pop fan bases, which grow through massive media pushes and global promotion, A10 grew organically. There was no pre-built global network. There were no massive promotional campaigns. Instead, SB19 built their fan base through consistent engagement, raw storytelling, and a direct, unfiltered connection with their audience. The result? A fan base that doesn't just support them, they mobilize, they stream, they vote, they organize, and they've shown the world that fandoms don't need a corporation to grow. They need connection. And that's where SB19's power lies. For SB19, success isn't just about awards, charts, or visibility. It's about legacy. Their rise isn't just a musical journey. It's a cultural one. SB19 has become a symbol of Filipino pride, carrying their culture and their identity onto the global stage. They're not just performing, they're representing. And that responsibility isn't lost on them. Every performance, every song, every milestone carries a deeper meaning because they're not just representing themselves. They're representing an entire culture. And that's what makes their success so powerful. Their rise isn't just about hitting the charts, it's about changing the cultural conversation. SB19's rise isn't just about one group defying the odds. It's about showing the music industry that the old ways don't have to define the future. The traditional system, the massive corporations, the strict control over every aspect of an artist's career, that's all being challenged. SB19 has shown the world that you can succeed on your own terms. They've proven that independence can lead to global success, and that's a possibility the industry can't ignore. This isn't about K-pop versus SB19. This is about an evolution in how the global music industry works. And when the system is forced to evolve, it loses its grip. And that's when the real change begins. For years, the global pop music industry has been dominated by a single model: the big agencies, the polished idols, and the strategic formulas. But SB19 is showing us that there's another way, a way built on authenticity, creative freedom, and a deep connection with their fans. They've proven that talent and independence can go hand in hand, and that cultural pride can be the key to global success. SB19's success isn't just about them. It's about opening up the space for new models of success in the global music industry. They've created something new. And that new blueprint is one that could change the industry forever. It's no longer about whether SB19 belongs on the global stage. It's about how long the music industry can afford to ignore the revolution they've already started.